You want these people consuming plant mass. The lower you eat this food pyramid, and that's what we have. The lower you go on the food pyramid, the higher the population that can be supported by food supply. All we have to do is food supply. If we want everyone in the world to have our standard of living as far as food supply, we're probably overpopulated by about 5 billion people. The earth can sustain 2 billion at our level of dietary consumption, or type of dietary consumption. If we want the rest of the world to live like we do as far as diet, we're going to have to take out about every 5 out of 7 on this group. Not going to happen. Well, what I'm saying is, when we look at maximum capacity of the earth, we have to look at where we want the earth to live. How far down on this food pyramid do you want to go? Do you wish to become the first secondary consumer? Or do you wish to be the primary consumer? Could you live on a diet of plant material? Yeah, you could. I don't know if we want to, but we could. And that's why fish farming is such a positive type of agriculture. You're in that secondary consumer stage. You feed the trap fish, grain products, you harvest the fish, and we've got protein, we've got nutrients, and that chicken farming also very efficient. When we start going into dairy cattle, beef cattle, we're not quite as efficient. Pork is not bad, but not good. What about this fox here? What does he got to watch out for?
Man.
Man, but how often do you eat fox? Well, you could maybe have a bear. Whatever the case is, you're not on the top of the heap unless you're the dominant predator on the land. Dominant predator on the land in the past were the big carnivores, the bears, the lions, the tigers. But man now is a dominant predator. Not because he's stronger, but because he's smarter and he's developed weapons to eliminate his competition. So this would be an example of food pyramid. As you go up, there's less and less biomass being stored. Most of it is being wasted and distributed to the environment. Oops, sorry. If we start looking at how the ecosystem is set up, we have an abiotic, and you end up with producers, you end up with consumer, primary consumer, secondary consumer one, secondary consumer two, and so on and so forth. This is referred to as the food chain. It rarely exists in the natural world. The author uses the word food chain. But what we see more frequently is not the producers providing nutrients for one set of consumers, the secondary living off of that. But what you have is a food web type of thing. We have herbivores, we have omnivores, we have things that literally live on plants and animals. So the term food web is more appropriate because it's interlocking. It's not a linear thing. It's interlocking where you have lots of organisms feeding off of one another. You've got one set of organisms left. And if these organisms wouldn't be here, we'd be up to our eyeball browsing crap. And these are the decomposers. And when I say crap, I mean litter such as leaves and grass and trees and human waste and so on. We then have the decomposers, the bacteria and worms, parts that move the soil that break this stuff down and recycle. The decomposers, another good term for the decomposers, they're the recyclers in organic material. We make materials available for the next generation of producers. Okay, last time we looked at the A climate, and I think we mentioned the rainforest, the AM, indicating again that you have consistency of temperatures. They're located along the equator. The A climates are the deep brownish red ones here in the center, most prominent in South America and Africa, as well as the Pacific Islands of Southeast Asia. Again, the closer you are to water and the closer you are to the equator, the more oppressive the conditions are in this area. Temperatures will not vary very much from season to season. One of your examples that you were identifying today was a rather extreme range in the tropical rainforest. It is not uncommon to see temperatures range 2 to 3 degrees between winter and summer. You have a greater range in daily temperatures than you do in seasonal temperatures. The vegetation here is a lush forest, big overstory, but the ground is basically barren. I know all of you have seen these movies with all the jungle type of environment and say, that's tropical rainforest. That's a tropical rainforest which has been disturbed. An undisturbed tropical rainforest, the true rainforest, is just a big canopy of trees. Virtually very little animals, because there's nothing for them to eat. The soil is among the poorest soils in the world. And this has led to major problems in the tropical rainforest area. Tropical rainforests are disappearing for a number of reasons. One is for harvesting the valuable timber, but more importantly, to accommodate some of those 7 billion people. People are converting the rainforest into agricultural land. And that is a short-term activity. What happens in this region is that we start off again, as I mentioned before, what we have is this overstory, this canopy that overlaps. And literally, the ground is in constant shade. Sunlight can't get beyond the canopy. In fact, rainwater frequently gets trapped in the canopy and then evaporates back into the atmosphere. So even the rain doesn't get down to the forest floor. We have a few epiphytes, we have a few other types of organisms that cling to the trunks of trees, but basically that's your rainforest. Great diversity, great diversity. You may have a rosewood tree here, a teak here, and so on. You will not find forests like you find in central Wisconsin. We have pines and pines and pines and nothing but pines, or oaks and oaks and nothing but oaks.